Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Magic Chat Room. It's another Tuesday. We're live over Magic 89.9 for those listening on radio, for those working from home, for those on the road. Thanks for taking us with you. And of course, you're also watching us live on Facebook, on Twitch through our Magic website, and of course on the Kumu app. Again, I'm Boom Gonzalez, and as we promised, this week we have the Arellanos guesting Drew Arellano representing everyone. Drew!
Hey, what's up? Have I been
brother.
on? Have I
Okay
been
lang.
on? I was just like, taking out my muta. Sorry. What's up?
Apparently, we've been on the last 30 minutes, so okay lang.
Cool.
Okay lang yan.
Good.
How have you been, man? I mean, it's been a long time. The last time we saw each other, ano ba, parang nasa gym pa yata tayo. Ganun yata katagal na yun. Coach Chappy pa yata kasama natin.
Right. I think yung Coach Chappy days ko with you guys was, I think, back in 2015 nga ba, or 2014. Di ba? Sobrang tagal na yun. Along Pioneer, remember?
Yeah, right. And we haven't seen
Yeah.
each other since the 360 Pro.
I don't think so. Of course, I mean, because of social media, it's like we just saw each other like a few
Right.
minutes ago. But yeah, man, everything's been the way they are. I think pretty much with everyone. The
Right.
first couple of weeks it was pretty tough, but succeeding weeks it got faster. The days, di ba, parang got shorter.
Parang nag-adjust yung sistema natin.
Yeah,
In a way.
in a way. But my wife and I were discussing na parang before, parang it was just so long. The days are so long. But now, parang even though you're working from home, you're like, what? That was Wednesday na. Oh, Saturday na. Uy, weekend na. Parang ganun.
Right.
I guess we like what you said. We adjusted. We parang, I guess, formulated our own routine during this crazy times, and yeah, doing good.
Oh, okay. I did say on our social media post that sabi ko pagdating dito sa show natin today, bahala na. Anything goes. We can have Drew, we can have Iya, we can have everyone. Maybe we won't have anyone at all. Baka tumayo lang tayo bigla. But thank you very much for making time, man. I know you were saying na medyo puyat ka ng konti. I appreciate it. I know you also told me that you were listening last week to that episode that we had with Pinky Web, and hindi ka pa naman na turn off, ano?
But I'm always. It's like your voice is always appealing to me. It's like I'm always watching UAAP finals or NBA finals. It's really your voice, bro. So I'm happy to be here. Here.
Oh, pakiklaro yung appealing, ha. Baka mamaya last week when I called you, remember, was it Primo who was trying to get the phone and
Primo.
He wanted a video call. Who are you talking to?
He's our first son is, we call him, he's the congressman. He's the uber friendly na parang, hey, how are you? My name is Primo. Come right in. Parang, oh, this is my mother. He's the type. He's the type. My wife will come in.
No problem. Yeah.
He is just with Primo.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't know. They're in the other room, but anyway, they're gonna come in anytime soon.
Okay.
The second one is just sleeping. So
Sarap. All the time to do. So sarap maging bata to catch up with all of that sleep.
Very true.
Okay. You are obviously just like everybody else, locked down. But tell me, is it more particularly hard or
Harder?
tougher on you because you roam the country, you roam the world, and all of a
Right.
sudden, here you are forced to lock down. To a certain extent, I understand. Me and my wife, we love, that's the one of the many things that we love to do on a whim.
Nakatimpan nyo rin.
Diba? Talagang she grew up that way, so sanay siya sa ganyan, and all of a sudden you're restricted in terms of your movements, like to the fullest, like you're just at home. So, tell me about that. That must be so hard for somebody like kate ng paa.
It is, but it's I do miss it. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone knows this, that uh, I don't consider my job as a job because featuring beautiful places in the Philippines lang. Kahit Philippines lang tiba-tiba na tayo, Pops.
Oh,
You
oh.
know, it's such a joy to just like every week you see something new, you feature something new, you experience something new, you eat something new.
No, yun yung
Um,
masarap.
yun yung masarap, di ba? I do miss it. It's just that we have to, see the silver linings from during these times, di ba? Parang, of course I missed it, but hey, I'm
Wala
not
eh.
complaining. I'm with my family. I'm with my
Eh,
kids every day, and being a family man. I mean, you just really want to maximize your time in with them. But I do miss it. Don't get me wrong, I do.
yeah.
Uh, and it's gonna take a while before we start producing our episodes again. And if ever we do start, malamang Metro Manila pa muna and isolated.
Mm,
I don't know. We're still evaluating, no. But
mm,
yeah, it's gonna be tough. That's why we're just like airing replays, reruns.
mm. I was
Mm.
thinking about that the other day, and dalawa lang naman yan eh, na parang you really, really miss it. Well, of course you will.
Mm.
Um, the show is definitely made for you, for your personality, and then yun nga, the fact that you love to travel. But I was also wondering, is there something in you that says, "Oh, finally, I get a break"? You
You
know,
know what? People think this is boom. People think that like, how do you wait? Where do you find the time to do other stuff? I mean, you always travel. A lot of people don't know that I only travel 2 days in a week. I leave the house Wednesday morning, and I fly back Thursday night. That's it.
regardless of the destination locally.
Regardless,
Wow.
that's my agreement. Sabi ko,
Ah,
I will shoot for 2 days. I gotta be back agad. And it's very doable. We shoot probably because I've been with my team for like the past 16 years. We've been doing the
right,
show for the past 16 years, and
right.
and it's just like it's such a great chemistry already that we have, and we when we work it's so efficient,
Mm,
and parang we're not working, parang when I talk
mm,
back automatically, and then wala nang, we have two camera setups,
mm,
and it's just like everyone's having fun.
mm.
And we probably tape or we'll probably feature mga roughly around 6 to 8 locations in a day.
Wow,
Um,
wow. Tuhog,
yeah,
ah.
yeah. Tuhog, because parang I guess it's easy to shoot a travel show. I mean, okay, sorry. The way, okay, because okay, the reason why we say it's easy to shoot a travel show, is because one, it's experiential for us. That's pretty much our theme. That's our handle. Na parang I don't have any scripts. Zero.
right, right.
So we just have an itinerary to follow. We go there. Sabihin natin location A. I talk to ganyan, and then I eat, and then ano bang lasa nito or whatever.
Mm,
Ooh,
mm,
there's
mm.
like may dagat. Tatalon ba ako sa cliff na yun? Talon, anong nararamdaman ko? So it's just really it's fluid. It's just easy.
Okay. And this setup of yours, for those who are listening, by the way, on radio and on Twitch or at home, we're
Mm.
talking to Drew Arellano right now. For those who are watching, we are live on FB, on Twitch, and on the Kumu app. This arrangement of yours, na twice a day, this
Twice
was
a
even
week.
before, twice a week. Sorry, this was even before you were married. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah,
Or
sir. Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
okay, so interesting yan kasi
Hmm.
pag sinabi mo you made the arrangement, people are probably thinking, kasi may pamilya na siya, o may asawa na, o may anak na. We're
No,
talking about that was the original arrangement that you had
bro.
even when you
Yeah,
were just dating.
brother. Back in when we started with, it was called Balikbayan first,
Mm-hmm.
and it aired for 5 years. But when we started in QTV with Balikbayan,
Mm,
the travel show,
mm,
I was doing the morning show already, Monday
right,
to Friday. And
right.
then when they offered me the job, they wanted me to shoot Saturday and Sunday.
Mm,
And I'm like, that's gonna be tough. So I go, I mean, I'm not the guy who's gonna work every single day of the week.
Right.
You know, so lalo na ako, we're very, family oriented na parang Sunday is off limits because Sunday is family day. Yung wala pa akong asawa, of course, with my
Family, yeah.
my mom, dad, and
Your
my
dad, of
siblings.
course, yeah.
Right. So at the time, we figured out how to arrange the schedule. So Monday to Friday, I do the live morning show, and then Friday after the morning show, I fly na, so I can come back Saturday. So
Right.
originally, talaga, the initial schedule was to shoot for 2 days.
Mm.
So we really parang, of course, evolved in terms of efficiency when it comes to shooting, in terms of production. So yeah, siguro parang ano yun, quality yung lumabas. Sometimes
Hindi,
quantity then.
hindi spread out. Di ka masyadong spread out. Kumbaga. Okay,
Tama.
okay. Okay.
Tama. So yeah, I mean, going back, it's always been 2 days. Yun nga, with my life right now, I just pretty much do TV work for 3 days in a week. I shoot Tuesday for my other show, which is called AHA, the kiddie educational show, and then Wednesday, Thursday for Biyahe ni Drew.
Right. Did you ever see yourself? I mean, was this how much of it was part of the plan, part of the blueprint? Oh, what do we have? Hey!
Say hi.
Hello.
Remember Tito Boom called and you were like, "Who are you? I want to see your face." That's Tito Boom.
But you're live.
You forgot.
He forgot what? He forgot what?
What he said.
Nothing.
By the way,
But
Primo,
you're not, Daddy.
what your dad said about me last week, about my name and about when we were talking, it's not true. I was wearing clothes, okay, when I was talking to your dad. Just in case. So ano sinasabi mo eh? Baka mamaya maniwala eh. Kaya gusto mag-video call eh. We're talking to the Arellanos right now at the comfort of his home. Obviously, I was asking what part of it, your career now, when you look back, what part of it was part of the blueprint and what part of it was just, this just happened. What part of it was kind of planned,
Part of the whole TV thing wasn't planned.
You were in corporate. You were in the corporate world, right?
Yeah, advertising agency. I started working for an advertising agency as an account manager.
Right.
And I just did this commercial, and then I think that's what happened. It pretty much started, my TV career. And then yun, parang, of course, when you enter Philippine TV, in the business, parang susubukan mo isa-isa eh. Susubukan mo parang, sige,
Right.
mag-act ka muna. Buti lang hindi ako umabot sa kanta pati sayaw. Good God. No, but, di ba? I'm sure we
Don't say no. Never say never, pare. Hindi pa huli ang lahat.
Hindi pa huli. But yeah, dude. Yeah, that's how I started.
Okay, so would you say that this was completely 100% almost not planned because you fell into the whole acting bug?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have. I mean, I acted for a short while, but I really enjoyed hosting more because parang you're just being yourself, diba? Parang how I talk to you is how I host, diba?
Right.
In front of thousands of people. So parang sabi ko, I think this is a less difficult job compared to acting, because acting, diba? Parang there's a role that you have, diba? There's a character that you need to study, you have to portray.
Right. And you have to get into that character. Sometimes it takes weeks and stuff to really, method acting style.
Yeah. I see. I don't even know the actual process because parang if you're not really so keen and medyo interested, parang you're like, no, I'm just gonna be cool here. But going back to what you were asking, what I really thought of, what I actually planned was this time with the family. That I planned. Yung tipong
You mean by
so
this time, dapat ano ka na?
by this time
Mm.
I should dedicate more time with the family. You know, so it wasn't really about it. I of course, you know, it's easy to be so competitive. Lalo na tayo mga, di ba? I mean, lalaki or babae, but it's so easy to be competitive na parang you have a monetary goal, a monetary objective. Pag at age 40, I gotta earn ganyan, ganyan. That wasn't really me. It was more of, I remember my dad would say na parang, you know, just enjoy what you're doing and then you're gonna earn decent money.
Mm.
Di ba? I take that over, you know, the numbers. You know, I take that over, you know, I guess like, you know, stuff that you want to buy in the future. I really don't have that type of mindset. So it was more of, uy, happiness. Where do I get my happiness? I get my happiness from, uy, being with family, being with my wife. Actually, sinasabi ko lang yan para meron akong pogi points ngayon. No? But,
Kasi malapit na siya.
kasi malapit na siya. No, but yeah. Pretty much.
Baka hindi pumasok, pare.
But yun talaga, that was really the plan. And I guess I was fortunate enough that I had that option. I guess
Right.
it's really up to you naman, di ba? Pero yes, very lucky and fortunate that umabot rin sa punto na parang, uy, it worked. Di ba? Parang, uy, dumating nga din dun sa punto na parang, you know, the priority is for the family and not work. Of course, work. Of course, you need to you know, get the wheels moving. But yung tamang-tama lang.
I like where this conversation went, because that's a life lesson right there that a lot of people might, if they're keen enough, they can pick up on that. Na parang, I love that you mentioned that you weren't concentrated on the numbers, and because in this day and age,
it's all about the numbers.
it's all about the numbers. It's all about comparisons. It's all about, you know, I have to get where she is, he is, or surpass that or that. So I like what you're saying about, ikaw, I'm just planting seeds, mamumuhunan lang ako, I'll do my own thing, I'll be happy with what I'm doing, and then sana may anihin. But the ultimate goal was I have to be in a state where I'm happy.
Yes. Happy
regardless of whether, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I'm happy if I am comfortable enough to, you know, feed my kids, give them a comfortable life, comfortable lives. But yung going back is buti na lang, I'm very lucky to have a wife friend who actually also had that same type of mindset. Initially, kasi, you know, my wife's such a workhorse. Back in the day, lahat tayo, naglasal tayo di ba? But I remember I was working already at that time, but she was still studying in Lasal. You know, she was a dean's lister. She was shooting a movie. She was doing soaps, and she was shooting commercials all at the same time. And I remember you know, I would stay inside my car, wait for her to finish studying before I could come. I'd go up. So high up yung mindset din niya. And you know, kung wala rin siyang mindset na ganon, baka hindi ako nahawa ng konti. Kasi I've always been that, you know, laid back, chillax type of guy. So
happy-go-lucky.
Right, so right. Yeah. So it's a good mix. Lalo na for the kids eventually, di ba?
Of course. Correct me if I'm wrong. But does this also have something to do with your father? And I say this when I watch some of your interviews, even in the past years, you know, when he was still alive, and then when he passed away, you talked about your father a lot. And it's one of the things that I share with you, because even in some of the interviews for people who are foolish enough to interview me, or some of the conversations that I've had, I talk about my father a lot, and I talk about some of the learnings that I've had from my father, which I know I remember one of these experiences that you and I had. We were in the wake of your father. We were talking about him a lot, and it was a celebration during the week. Remember, you
Yeah.
you were, you weren't trying too hard to be happy. You were happy. You guys were all. Of course, there is that sadness that he has passed away, no
Right.
doubt. But you were celebrating his life because you were very close to him, and there
Correct.
were so many things that you picked up from him. Well, is that also part of it? Would you think this
Oh,
mentality?
most definitely, Boom. I wouldn't be the person I am now if it weren't for my father, diba? Parang
Mm.
he paved that way. He paved that type of mindset,
Was
sa
he
aming
the same
mga.
like you? He was like that, the
Oh,
same energy?
it's so yeah, it's so funny because even my siblings, they think that I look and I act like my papa.
Chip off the old
That
block, huh? Mm,
yeah, that's right.
mm,
That's
mm.
why I don't know. I guess yeah, we were very lucky to have a father who had that. It was he had this forward type of thinking na eh. 'Di ba? Yung parang forward na parang wow, I will prioritize my all my children. Kasi alam ko rin iniisip niya na parang eventually they will actually share that to their kids as well.
Mm.
There are you know more important things in life than work.
Money,
'Di ba?
work, material
Yeah,
stuff.
yes, exactly. So, it's so funny na parang when I was growing up, of course, I've had my fair share of bumps.
Of course.
Uh, then I remembered I was so down, so down. And in hindsight, of course, isipin mo parang babaw naman ito. Pero syempre at that time,
At that time,
your
malalim.
age,
Yeah,
parang
yeah,
ang
yeah.
lalim na yon. And then
Right.
all he had to say was, you know, this is just gonna be temporary. I mean, just a few words, and you're like, oh nga, no? And then to this day, lalo na during this quarantine,
Yeah, yeah.
when I talk to friends who are actually so worried about what's gonna happen, and I'm like, maybe I got it from my father. That I'm calm, collected, probably, and a positive thinker. And then I tell them na parang, hey, we can't really worry what we can't control.
Mm.
This is just gonna be temporary, and I mean, hopefully, di ba? Parang, we're humans, man. We're gonna survive. So,
Mm.
hopefully, I'm right. Hopefully, my father is right too.
Well, I'm sure he is. This is the reason why we were talking at the start of the show. We're talking to Drew Arellano right now. For those listening on Magic 89.9, that we tend to adapt to the situation. You said that there was a difference in terms of the routine at the first month. I've said this in many shows before. The first month for me was also very tough. Um, Partly it was because I got separated from my wife, and then I had to
Right.
quarantine myself because I came from a different country, so I couldn't be with my mom and my brother also. So it was true isolation. So that part was a little bit, unsettling because you didn't want to go out, you don't want to, you had to act like you had it.
Tama.
That was how I thought when I came back. I had to act like I had it, so I don't put other people uh, in danger, right? So tell me about that first month experience. Is this the longest that you've been with your wife without separating? Because let me
You know,
background lang, because you guys have been married what, six? Is it
since
6?
2014.
So 6 years, and
Mm.
you've been together for what, more than a decade? Am I correct? 11, 10
Yeah,
years?
yes, 16 years actually.
Together. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
So
together.
16 years.
Yeah, we've been together for pretty much like 16 years. Boyfriend
So
girlfriend, and
right.
then 9 years, and then yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
so throughout that whole time, this last 4 months, especially
Ito
those
na yung
first two,
pinakamatagal.
talaga
Yes.
na hindi kayo naghiwalay?
Kasi pare, I mean, for the past 16 years, I've had the weekly travel show,
Right? Oh, nga.
and
Yeah, that's right.
I was telling I tell my wife na parang it's also a blessing that I leave because that's also pretty much like my me time. The travel time is
Right,
my me
right.
time.
I like
And
where you're going with this one. Okay, go ahead.
and speaking of which, my
Hey!
ready to pop
Hi!
wife
Woo!
is here. Hold on,
Oh
hold on.
my. Ia Villania Arellano now joining us here on the chat room. Ia, it's so good to see you again.
Hola, sorry, this is like my daily wear. Sports bra.
How? Oh, wait,
Bra.
before. When are we due? When are we due?
Well, pretty much anytime.
Anytime.
Waiting, yeah.
Please wait after mga 35 more minutes, ha?
Bakit basa na yung floor? Wait lang, ha?
Go on. So we have Primo, we have Drew, we have Iya with us. Iya, I was just asking Drew, is this the longest time that you guys have been kind of cooped up together after, a long relationship that you've had? And then, how is that like for you? Okay, papahingayin ko muna si Drew. Iya, how has that been like for you being with your spouse after being together for like 16 years, and this is the longest time? Was it anxious? Whether it was him that was causing the anxiety or not. But how was the experience? Can you take us through it, please?
Actually, I've been thoroughly enjoying it because I love that he has no reason to leave the house.
Wala kang me time.
Wala akong me
He
time.
has no excuse. But you know what? It's like funny. It makes things fair because like I can't just run away. I can't just, not that I want to run away, but I can't just leave and
That
do
was a
things,
slip. That was a slip. Dude.
and do things I want to do on my own. I mean, I have the kids here. I got to stay home. I've they can be pretty demanding also. So it's nice because
There you go.
like Drew has no choice because he's just got to stay home now too and deal with everything that I got to deal with.
But now you have to take care of your 3 boys. I would say 3 boys. Isama ko na si Drew dyan. Panganay mo.
Actually, you know what? It was the perfect opportunity for him to gain a better connection, especially with Leon.
Right.
Because since we are waiting for this one to pop, but I was kind of like telling Drew, okay, love, you know that I'm going to have to focus on this one. So you're going to have to learn to put the 2 of them to sleep. So at least, this whole quarantine has given him the opportunity to
make use of sleeping pills.
to figure it out,
Hopefully not
to
for
make it
them.
happen.
Not for them. I love injections.
And we don't know. You guys don't know the gender, correct? You're
Well,
surprising
we don't.
yourselves.
But
Right?
I'm expecting it to be a boy.
You do. Why do you say that, Iya? Why do you
I
say
d-
that you're expecting it to be a boy?
I don't know. I just feel like it's another boy, and parang I'm not sure because I'm no sonologist, but parang I saw a set of balls. But I have friends telling me, yeah, that could also be a hamburger, which is what they refer to as the vagina of
JJ.
a baby.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, well then I guess we don't really know. But yeah, I'm prepared for another boy because I already have everything for a boy.
Yeah, nga, no?
True.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And obviously we're all praying for a healthy
Yes.
baby more than anything else. But is there like a wish for it to be a girl somewhere in there? I don't know whether it's Iya
I
or Drew.
think she's scared. She's
I'm
scared
scared to have a girl.
to have a girl.
I don't-
Are you? Why? Tell me, is it from a
Mhm.
taking care standpoint, or is it the times, because of the
It's
times?
the times. The
Do really?
times. And then it's just scary to see the kind of the influencers.
I was about to say, bakit natatakot ka? Baka nagti-TikTok na, maaga pa lang. And, but I get what you're saying, but I want you to
Yeah.
expound on that. I was going to ask really whether it was scary to be pregnant to begin with at a time of COVID-19. I mean, right, with all the news about pregnant women and
Yeah.
elderly being susceptible and all that, and everything's changing in terms of who's really more susceptible or not, because now even kids are getting it, younger
Yeah.
people in the US are getting it. But that aside, is it scary to be pregnant? And then second, I really want to talk about this whole thing that you're concerned about it being a girl growing up in this day and age.
Well,
I like the honesty. Yeah.
First of all, the pregnancy during COVID. I'm not stressed, but because I'm very lucky to have a smooth and easy pregnancy. But I'm sure I can't speak for those who have high risk pregnancies.
Right.
Who need to go to the doctor more often than not to check on the to check on like the condition, the situation, how baby's doing. But I've been really lucky because I haven't really been having to go to see my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of raising a girl, I don't know. Because I'm from a family of girls.
Okay.
3 girls kami. Ako yung bunso eh.
Okay.
And I guess that's why I'm not too keen on having one because
You turned out all right. So and we go about this whole life of ours saying that people, if they're intelligent enough, if they're crafty enough, if they're resourceful enough, will adjust to the times. If you bring them, I'm no father yet, but if you bring them right, bring them upright, they'll be able to make the right decisions. So where is your fear coming from?
I turned out all right, maybe because I was already the third. So I learned from the mistakes of my athletes. I learned from the mistakes of my sisters.
Trial and error.
I get what you're saying.
Girl, if this turns out to be a girl, this is going to be the first.
Right.
So wala siyang ate that can,
right.
can guide her and tell her, you don't want to do that because I've been there, I've done that. And
right.
I don't recommend it.
This is a legitimate fear of yours.
Yes.
Right. It's well founded, in my opinion. I mean,
and also because I came from a family of girls.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, and then honestly, it's just easier having a boy because I already have 2 boys. I already have everything for boys. Should this be a girl, then the first couple of weeks, she's gonna have to dress up in her brother's clothes first.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, boys want to be girls, girls want to be boys.
Buti na lang newborn, hindi pa siya choosy.
Which brings me to Primo and Leon. Okay, you said you have expressed your fears, and if you do have a girl, and really, in all honesty, I think if you do have a girl, you'll be fine for sure. I mean, you guys have been great all throughout the process. But is there no fear rather when you think about Primo and Leon growing up under the spotlight, because they have become stars in their own right, and they have fans club, diba? May mga fan clubs na sila and all of that. Is there a little bit of apprehension about them going up in the spotlight, in the social media spotlight for that matter too?
Kasalanan namin yun eh.
The only fear is people getting up in their faces and people getting a little too excited and and not learning and not knowing how to respect our time and our
But you know what? It's so funny. But you know, I remember we went to a public place wherein sinabi na namin sa isa't isa, if ever man may lumapit, kausapin lang natin na, uy, pasensya na po dahil, you know, we're also, you know, here as a family and we're also trying to, we're also trying to utilize and maximize our time, ganyan. So you just say that and then they will actually respectfully, say sorry. Okay, okay.
Actually,
no problem.
You also have others that message us directly and say, hey, we're such fans of your family. We saw you guys wherever, but you know, we wanted to respect your time together, so we didn't say hi. So you know, it's like when we encounter those people, it's like, oh, thanks guys. But you still do have people out there who,
of course,
who are aware of you know, of how you might feel with the time that you have with your family.
Right.
But for others na sobrang yung syempre out of yung gulat na it's Primo tapos yung kilig minsan hindi nila napipigilan eh.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Has there been like a bad example of an encounter that you felt became too much, or that even you, Drew, who you're always happy or always joking and all that?
Oh, dude! Oh my God! Boom! I am so strict.
He is.
Oh, okay.
I am such a stage father.
Okay.
In a sense, na parang, parang I guess it's so natural na parang you want to protect kagad your family.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? It's
Of course.
so yeah, it's innate. But here I am not protecting my son from my dog. I'm just kidding.
Safe space naman yan.
Safe space, safe space.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, there was a bad example of what did they try to do?
Not-
Did they try to get a picture? Did they try to get a kiss? Or what's the?
yeah, they a couple of times already, bro. You know,
Oh,
parang lalapitan nila kagad. I mean, of course, we live in a condo, and then this is pretty much like a central business district. And when we'd like walk around, syempre, there are some people lang na parang, of course, they're gonna whip out their phones kagad.
Right.
Di ba?
Right.
Quick draw, and then shoot kagad in front. And then, or parang selfie kagad, na parang, and I get it though, na parang, kahit, syempre, I don't want to be biased, no? Pero, ang cute kasi ng mukha nito, ang cute ng mukha. So I mean, I totally get it. I guess nakakalimutan lang nila. I think yun naman yun eh. No one's.
Yeah, there are no bad intentions.
Oo.
Of course.
It's really just a matter of
remembering.
getting carried away. I mean, we also have those moments. I mean, if I saw Robert Downey Jr. in front of me, then baka hindi ko rin mapipigilan.
Oh, if I see like Boom Gonzalez, I'm gonna like,
Upakan mo, kuha kang kahoy.
I'm gonna take that opportunity and I'm gonna risk being turned down, but I'm gonna take it.
Right. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it's the aggression probably sometimes that you understand
too much.
Right, you understand the excitement, you understand it's an opportunity because kayo rin, you get starstruck, right? But I guess some people come at you like because they see you, whether it's your channel, whether it's the social media, the Instagram or whatever, and they seem like they're part of you. And that's what social media does, but you get a peek of these things and you have this sense of, oh, I know them so well and they're so nice and
they feel like they're part of the family because yeah, I mean they've watched Primo growing up and now Leon.
That's a danger too, right? Drew, yung ganyan.
Wait, sorry, buddy. Hold on.
What happened?
Sorry.
Primo's being our light man.
So that's a danger also, right? I mean, with these things.
Oh, definitely. I guess it's in terms of regulating, their exposure. Parang, we don't know, man.
You're making it up as you go along. Is that what you're trying to say, Drew?
Yeah, and then we pretty much just feel it out, and if it feels right, if it feels harmless.
Pag babae, to, Drew, away yata ka lalabasan nito.
Ay, nako, bro. I don't know.
How are you feeling? What are you? Okay, we know what he is feeling about her.
I'm fine, bro. No, really.
No, but I mean,
I'm fine. Girl, boy.
What are you hoping for? Okay, or what?
A healthy.
Of course, other than
baby.
That,
Wala, bro. We're so happy with these two boys.
I think he'd like to have a girl.
I'd love to have a girl. Yeah, I mean, I'm game. I'm G for anything.
Actually, yeah, we're both on the same, but like it would be, of course, everyone else is like son a girl, because I already have two boys.
Right.
But really, it's like kahit boy or kahit girl, we're gonna love either.
For sure.
I mean, a girl would be a nice surprise, but having a boy, I mean, but having a boy, it's in addition to the two that we already have, and to see the dynamics between the three of them, that's also something to be excited about.
Of course.
So having that brotherhood.
Super.
Either really.
But sobrang na-excited ako if ever it's gonna be another. What are you doing? Are you a doll?
We're talking to Drew Arellano, to Ia Villania Arellano, and of course Primo is with us for those listening on Magic 89.9 and watching us on Facebook.
Take it easy.
Oh my goodness.
I think you just don't know yet, Drew, but I think you'll be 100 times more protective when the girl when this is the girl.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He already is with the boys. He already is with the boys. What more?
Tawa-tawa ka dyan, ha, Drew, ha? Bro, tawa.
Actually, laughing and tearing and crying at the same time. I think I'll teach the
Let's get
boys
some
to
later now.
take care of,
Because ask at
if ever magiging babae.
Sorry, can you say that again? I think Ia's microphone is away from you. Yeah, so go ahead. You
I'm
were
sorry.
saying?
No,
go ahead,
I
sorry.
mean, hopefully, we get to train the two boys to protect their sister, if ever nga magiging sister.
Okay, here's a question for you, Ia and Drew. Everybody calls you hashtag couple goals, family goals, and all that. And that's
But
a great
little do they
thing.
know.
Little do they know.
Well, that's part of the question. There are certain realities, obviously, about, and I'll get to that in a bit. But I wanna ask, who are your couple goals? Who are your family goals? Other than, of course, your own personal families, I'm sure. Again, me and Drew earlier talked about the significance of our fathers in our lives. But I mean, just from let's say a celebrity standpoint, who do you not necessarily look up to, but when you see them, you say family goals, couple goals?
Dami rin bro. Kasi lalo na, of course we really never know what's happening in their homes. Like, for example, we just check them out on social media.
Right.
We do know, or the families of the Abreras, diba? Susie and Pao.
Yeah.
Or, Ryan and Juday.
Right.
Diba? And other couple friends that alam
Right.
namin na parang, that's such a great household, such a great family to be in.
And you also see it in the kind of children that they raise.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Sino pa ba? Napaisip na, but yeah, sina Pao, sino Juday.
As far,
definitely look up to them.
Okay, well, how close is reality to what people see in your channel, people see in your social media, and what do you as a couple allow yourselves to share? I'm sure you also, I mean, other than the obvious stuff, but have you had conversations between the two of you now? Okay, pagdating dito, we're not doing this, we're not sharing this. And how close or how far is your social media life? Don't worry, you guys still look good with or without the light. Doesn't matter. Your social media life and your YouTube life from the real life, as Ia was saying earlier, na, jokingly saying, kung alam lang nila,
It's fairly real.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The only thing probably that they're
what happened?
It fell.
Oh.
The only
Ano na?
Ano
Primo, working the lights.
Sorry,
Okay,
they're
just keep it there, love. Just keep it there, love. The only thing probably that they're missing out on, which of course we're not going to publicize, are whatever conflicts that we have here, because conflicts are the things that we deal with as a couple.
Right. And I wanna how do Ia and Drew fight? I mean, because I asked that only. Really? You think it's a good question, Drew? I only asked that, Ia, because Drew is this again, right? You have said it many times. It's like, everything's like and I don't say this in any negative way. That everything's like a punch. There's like a punchline. There's a punchline coming. You know what I mean?
You said it. Sobra.
But what's the real? I mean, without having to talk about details, what do you like?
How do we deal? How do you
fight? Because nobody imagines that.
Well, I am really the firstborn, so I am ka-level ko yung mga kids. In terms of the mentality, but how do we we both know that when
we both know how each of us handle stress.
Yeah.
And I'm the type, now when I get stressed, I would rather keep it to myself instead of saying something off the bat and then might say something that I might regret. So I prefer to give it some time. Ask Ate Marie. So I'm the type that would compose a long text or write it down, and then I'll talk to him. Normally after a workout, para may endorphins.
Nice
Right.
plan.
But Drew is the type. Now he would want to confront you right away.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very vocal like that. I'm so transparent.
Mhm.
Parang I can't hide my feelings. Yeah, that's the thing.
Ako naman, my problem is I also can't hide my feelings, but ayoko ring magsalita agad.
Right,
So for him, it's like, I know you're upset, but can you tell me why?
right, right.
And ngayon,
But-
quarantine, you have no choice but to deal with each other if these things come up. You have. I was saying in another episode, the option of walking away.
There
I
is
mean,
no option.
literally, right? Oh, workout muna ako sa gym, or I'll walk the dog first, or whatever, or you know what I mean, or
but
shopping
but-
muna. Yeah.
No, what we do have are our morning ritual.
Sorry,
when
Drew.
we
What's that? Yeah,
when-
there you go.
Oh,
There you
Oh,
go.
I have the mic.
when we work out together,
Yes.
after working out, that's the time we talk. Like, okay, sorry about this.
Discuss.
We discuss yung mga disagreements or yung mga quote-unquote hinanakit sa isa't isa. And
Malalim, ah.
oh, and it usually works. And most of the time, it's my fault. Most of the time, it's my fault.
She's not saying no,
No.
to that.
Yeah, she's not saying no to that.
Not moving at all.
No, because it how I react will either make it worse or solve things right away. So minsan hindi rin ako nakakatulong. That's why I'm quiet.
Right.
Mm,
But I guess, yeah, we're lucky to have that time together in the morning, so that whenever we do have like conflicts and stuff to discuss,
Talk about, yeah.
um,
Talk to her. Go to her, love. She can't hear you, love. You have to go to her. He's not very comfortable pa with the dog, so he doesn't wanna.
I heard. Drew was giving me the 411 before we went on the air with the dog. For those listening on radio, we're talking to Drew Arellano and Melania Arellano and Primo in the background, foreground, and everywhere else.
One at a time, kuya.
Yeah, you were saying, Drew. Yeah. When it comes to the arguments, does Drew ever get? I mean, in a serious mode, like argumentative.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Is it extremes? Like he's this super clowny, happy guy that we know, but when it comes to, I'm not saying violent, but it becomes really serious. Is
Pakita
that?
mo nga yung ochi mo.
Ano
Pakita
ba?
mo yung black and blue mo. Hindi lang ako. Just kidding.
It's funny because when he is stressed and he is reacting out of stress,
Yeah, that's when you know.
that's when he doesn't realize, wow, I didn't realize na that's how I can be pala when I'm super stressed.
So I have those moments.
Right.
Na parang I realized na parang
I did that pala.
I did that. Parang I said that. So I have those also. Lalo na when I get stressed out on stuff that I'm like new to. Di ba parang lalo na with Aki and with our dog and our dog towards the kids. Na parang this is new territory.
Right.
And you gotta take care of the kids as well. So ginusto namin to. Okay, fine. Ginusto ko to. And sinabi nga,
Nandamay ka pa.
okay, fine. Deal.
Dinamay pa niya ako eh.
Atin lang naman
This was actually one of our issues during the quarantine.
Really? I was going to
Yes.
ask that during the quarantine. Yeah.
The thing is, it's so funny. My friend's like, you do know that blah 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 about the dog. I'm like, I know, but there's this something that there's always like I'm looking for a challenge to stress me out.
Look at you.
And I'm like, because if there's no challenge, then there's no excitement in life.
And it's funny because since the decision of getting the dog was pretty much Drew's, he's taking full responsibility.
Right.
So I'm enjoying seeing him be responsible, waking up in the middle of the night, doing what he needs to do to attend to the dog. So it's like, okay,
Okay.
you wanted this, right? So,
Ah, yeah. When we started talking around 15 minutes prior to going on the air, it was a completely different conversation between me and Drew. It's like, pare, pasensya na, puyat ako kasi ganito, ganito, ganito.
yeah.
Yun. Dahil dun.
Okay.
Dahil
How,
dun.
do you have conversations about whether how careful do you have to be with your image as a family, as a married couple? Especially you guys are doing endorsements left and right and all that. Was there any conscious conversation about image wise, or you're just whatever?
Boom, I guess for me,
Sometimes I just get a little nervous with him.
because I am who I am, and I don't really have like any filters. So yeah, medyo
Because he's such a joker.
kinakabahan yung asawa ko.
And you know how, I mean, some boys can, kind of bring up kind of different kinds of jokes when they're amongst boys.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow.
Mia.
Mayos ka, Buma. So, sometimes I just get scared na parang, love, can you, parang umayos ka?
At nakikinig naman.
Minsan it's too late.
Did you discover anything about each other new after 16 years of being together with this whole pandemic thing, with this quarantine thing that you didn't realize about each other, or maybe even about yourself?
Yes, I did.
Oh my Lord, what an emphatic! I think we need another hour for that answer.
Oh, yes.
Oh, come on, Iya. I'll give you the
Yes,
floor,
I
please.
did.
Please, indulge us, Iya. Grabe yung tao.
Oh, yes, I
Okay,
did.
so I have a first family. Primo is not our.
Ngayon lang niya nalaman.
Hindi pala panganay si Primo.
Oh. But yes,
But,
Iya, please. Well, tell us. Qualify that reaction.
There have been. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah,
But,
okay. Without
but-
too much detail, of course.
This with a dog. This was one major thing. That I was like,
Wow.
love, like love. You know that I am your wife now, and
Do you know that,
and,
Drew?
and I was like, love, I am your wife. We should be deciding on these things together.
Right.
So yeah, like
Wait, teka. Ano ba to? Marriage counseling ba to? Wait lang. Hold on.
Dude, I had to branch out eh. Medyo nawalan ako ng trabaho eh.
Parang yung glass door. Parang nasa simbahan tayo.
Yan. Confessional box.
Confession box na.
I mean,
Yeah,
again, without prying and without details, but this pandemic has brought out a lot, I guess, to couples, regardless of whether you're new couples, and then, whether you're married or not. And then it also happens it's more interesting when it's for couples who have been together for a long time.
yeah.
Right.
And and the perception about the couple also is, oh, what a perfect family. Rightfully so, and rightfully earned. I mean, your family is beautiful. I know you guys personally.
Nowhere near perfect, bro.
No, I don't think anybody is. I think that's the whole point, right?
I think during this whole quarantine period, parang so much goodness came out of it. Actually, I mean, indirectly,
Mhm.
di ba? Parang because of the bumps, because of the arguments, parang we've become better people, better partners. Probably better parents.
And like Drew said, because of the pandemic and the stresses that it has brought, parang it really does challenge your partnership and how the two of you will make things work for your family, for each other, even at a time like this.
Right. And we just signed the divorce papers. Buti na lang,
And we realized that it just wasn't happening. So,
So I would like to announce to everybody that this is the last interview that they're doing together, right? The chat room. Which means this will be my last show also. Mukhang marami na magagalit sa akin. Speaking of work, okay, let's shift. I have a few minutes left with Drew Arellano and Ia Villania Arellano here. Did anybody consider quitting? And I may say that, and I want to be politically correct on this one, regardless of whether it's the wife or the husband. Did anybody consider quitting their jobs, their careers for the sake? Because you both are family oriented and all that. That's one of the things that you really loved about each other. Did anybody call it quits or was close to calling it quits?
Parang I think we've been very lucky with our work setup that no, we've never really had to consider it because with the work that we have, with the time that we need to give our work, it's allowed us to still be parents, to still come home and be home for a, for a whole chunk of the time that we have.
for parental work.
So yeah,
And now the dog, yeah.
No shopping, my love. Okay, good. I think she is. So yeah, we've been very lucky with the setup and with the time that we need to give to work because we still have a lot of time for each other, ourselves, and for our family. So yeah, we've
Good.
never really had to consider. Sorry about this guy.
Okay nga, nagiging monitor yung camera di ba?
Right,
Monitor.
papa-adapt na lang namin to.
Monitor.
Careful, Kuya, don't touch the dogs, okay?
Instead of quitting,
Quit parenting, yes, quit parenting. That's what. Malapit na.
which as some people have said is not for everyone. So
Yeah.
No.
yeah. So Drew, no part of you ever wanted to quit anything, quit show business, quit and stay with business because I know you're also a businessman. That's also part of your thing.
Not really, bro. Like what my wife said. Like we were discussing a while ago. Parang I only do TV work 3 days a week.
True.
So it's not very taxing.
And he loves his travel show. It's like his perfect excuse to have me time.
That's what we were talking about when you
Diba?
came in.
But it's an
Right?
advocacy. It's like showing
You just
the
want your
Filipino-
me time.
showing the Filipino people that you don't have to fly,
Near or far.
near or far. You just have to take
Yeah.
a car.
I will provide you the transcript of the conversation before you came in. You can check and then.
Oh, I know.
Hey, wait.
I
Oh.
know.
Ian, does anybody remember that you were a video game jock back in the day? Does anybody come up to you and
I
did
do.
anybody-
I'm actually still in touch with the core group.
No
of
way!
the-
Back in the
Yes.
IBC 13 show that you
Yep.
used to have.
Actually, my webmaster, Calculus, that was his. What do you call it? Nickname, his alias.
Yeah, right.
That was his name when he would message into the game, and I still
Right.
call him by that, Calculus, and he's actually my webmaster.
Was that your first ever job here, at least in the Philippines?
Yes, my
or
first
job?
TV stint.
Your
That was my first.
How
TV
how old
stint.
were you? 17? 16?
17.
17. Wow.
Prior to that, what were you doing? Any odd jobs?
Well, prior to that, I was in Australia.
Right.
As a front act.
Weren't you singing in Australia?
Yes,
Did you ever
as a
consider
front
singing
as
again?
an opening act for Filipino artists. The only singing I do now are really just singing lullabies
And in the
and
banyo.
nursery rhymes.
Oh, there was a time you did theater, remember? Right. Of course. Right. With my
Yes,
wife,
yes,
of
yes.
course. Right.
Yes,
Greece.
Sikara.
Greece, right. Drew, any chance you're going back to the corporate world? Is that something you ever wanted to go back to, or nah, that's really not for you?
Not really the corporate world, pare. Just, my own business.
Sorry. Yeah,
Just-
there,
Just
there.
doing my own business, bro. I think that's the way to go.
The long-term
uh,
plan. Yeah.
Yeah, don't really want to be a corporate slave, if you may call it. I mean, not
Mhm.
really the type. I mean, of course, to gain knowledge, to learn the ropes, probably in the
Right.
first few years. I don't know when after graduating, but
Right.
I don't know. For me, it's entrepreneurial stuff that I
Right.
really consider.
That you've found
which pretty
a
much
passion for.
Yeah, correct.
And Iya, you're still working, right? You're still doing 24 horas and everything
Yes.
else.
I've been
Until,
very
of course,
lucky. I've
yeah.
been very lucky to still be able to do that, even
Right.
during the whole quarantine period. So
Right.
I was lucky to still be able to work. And recently, we've just started taping also for Mars Pa More. So,
Mm.
in terms of work, I'm pretty much back to what my regular work schedule was prior to the lockdown.
So I'm the only bum.
Sarap ng buhay mo. Are you hoping that his travel show will ever come back, Iya?
Definitely.
His excuse to be.
Yeah,
No, actually, it's.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, honestly, I love his travel show because Drew gets to come back home and then he'll make me cuento about things that
course.
he's discovered, and I didn't know that there's a place like this. Will show me videos. And another thing that I'm looking forward to is him bringing the kids with him,
Right.
because I feel
Super.
that that'll be such a great learning
Oh
experience for
wow!
the kids.
Wow, that's a nice angle, Drew.
So I need for him to get back to his traveling so that he can take the kids away
Right.
from me,
And pay the bills.
so
Well,
I
that too.
can take my bike out and ride off
Wow.
into the sunset.
Well, right off is parang hindi ka na babalik, ano? Well, Iya, thank you for joining us halfway through the show. Really appreciate it. You look beautiful as always, being pregnant, and we
Really?
wish you.
This is how you define beauty. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are beautiful.
Yeah, and definitely we wish you and pray for a healthy baby, regardless.
Thank you.
Regardless, and thanks for spending your time
Thank
here.
you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And Drew, thanks for allowing me to be a marriage counselor for today.
Hopefully you are effective. We'll see after the live interview, bro.
I feel so sorry for you, but I appreciate the time, brother. It's been too long, man.
I know
Been
it's
too
been
long.
too long, bro. Always a good time to chat with you, man.
But the important
say
thing is
goodbye.
you guys are safe
Goodbye.
and healthy. That's the important thing.
Oh,
Say
Bye,
goodbye.
Primo.
bye. Oh,
I guess that means bye. I
Yeah.
guess that means bye.
Toyota's like baby bird sleeping.
Thank you again, Iya. Thank you, Drew.
Yeah, correct.
Give Leon a nice big hug and kiss from all of us from your Magic 89.9 family. All right, take care.
Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Arellano, Iya Villania Arellano, and Primo, of course, the star of the show, joining us here in the chat room. We'll see you next week here on Magic 89.9. Bye, everybody.